It was 0-0. Our opponents were on our 10-yard line. We had stopped them 7 plays in a row. It was impressive. We must have had a penalty or something, because as I recall, they hadn't gotten a first down, but now it was 4th and goal late in the fourth quarter. All we had to do was hold them for one more play. The year was 1979, and I was 11 years old. I had never played competitive football before, and this was my first season. I didn't watch it on TV. My mom and dad were 60s hippies, not sports enthusiasts, and certainly not football fans. So my knowledge of the game was pretty much zero. I was a skinny kid, but fast, so the coaches figured I'd make a great running back. They pulled another kid and me aside and showed us a chalkboard with circles and numbers scrawled all over it. These represented the offensive line and the holes between each lineman. It might as well have been Chinese. I honestly can't remember if I didn't have much desire to learn it or if I found the whole thing too complicated, but the outcome was the same. I didn't pay attention. In our first scrimmage, the coach put me in at running back. We huddled up, and the quarterback called the play. I had learned enough to understand that the quarterback's play determined who got the ball and who didn't, but nothing else made sense to me. So once the huddle broke, I asked the other running back, "Who gets the ball?" "You do," he said, giving me a weird look. "Okay, I got it." When the ball was snapped, I took the handoff and ran. I was tackled within a half a second in the backfield for a loss. As I got up, the entire team, including the coach, started yelling at me. "What are you doing, Keenan? Where the hell are you going? The hole is over there. What the hell, Keenan?" I had no idea what they were talking about. Apparently, what the QB says in the huddle matters. I didn't go to the appropriate hole. I didn't understand the play that was being called. I didn't understand the plays at all. As you can imagine, that single play was the end of my running back days, at least for that year. I was benched for the rest of the scrimmage. Embarrassed, confused, and frustrated, I swore I would do better next time, if next time ever came. The next day at practice, the coach put me on defense in the safety position, and he said something I'll never forget. "Keenan, just run as fast as you can and tackle the guy with the ball." I don't know if this coach was the best coach in the world or if he thought I was the dumbest kid in the world. Regardless, he understood that despite being a talented athlete, I was struggling to understand the game. So he made the game as simple as possible for me. Run as fast as you can and hit the guy with the ball. That I could do. From then on, I flew around that football field like a Tasmanian devil, tackling whoever dared run the football against our team. It was my job. I loved it, and I was great at it. Until the day it was 4th and goal, and the quarterback for the opposing team was about to snap the ball. I was playing safety on the right side of the field, eyeing the quarterback when they snapped the ball. I watched to see which running back he was going to hand it off to, when all of a sudden, everyone started yelling, "Pass! Pass!" Pass? Huh? No one passed in Pop Warner. Not back then anyway. We were 11 and 12 years old, for God's sake. The quarterback dropped back to pass, and I looked up and saw the wide receiver camped just 5 feet in front of me to my right. The quarterback turned our way and heaved the ball. It was a sorry excuse for a pass, a wobbling duck oscillating from side to side. I was standing right under it, as was the wide receiver. My heart began to pound. I was in the perfect position. I knew I could make this play and make it big. I'd timed the whole thing out. I envisioned everyone cheering me after the play ended. A calm came over me as I stepped back 2 steps, sized up the wide receiver, looked up at the ball, waited for him to catch it, and timed my hit perfectly. The second he caught the ball, I lunged with all my weight and strength and tackled him to the ground. I jumped up psyched about the punishment I had just put on this poor kid. However, as I got up, I realized I was the only one on my team celebrating. The other team, however, was going wild. What happened? I had done what the coach told me to do, and yet we lost. And by judging by the dirty looks I was getting from my team, it was all my fault. I didn't understand. I had tackled the guy with the ball. No, I had pummeled the guy with the ball. I knew I had done my job. It's what I didn't know that cost us the game, because I didn't know that my job was to make sure he never caught the ball in the first place. I hadn't bothered to learn anything about the game either, and it all came out in that play. The first thing I didn't understand was the concept of turnovers. We had practiced fumbles, but since no one ever passed, we didn't cover interceptions, and my knowledge of football was limited to whatever I had seen on the practice field. I also didn't understand the value of ball possession. I simply saw being on defense and therefore on the field as a chance to play. It never entered my mind that having the ball or being on offense was how you kept your opponent from getting a chance to score and won the game. But my fatal misunderstanding was what constituted a touchdown. For whatever reason, at 11 years old, I was under the impression that you had to pass the goalpost to score. The goalposts were my touchdown indicators. I saw no problem with waiting to tackle the other team's wide receiver until after he had caught the ball 5 yards before the goalposts, smack in the middle of the end zone. We didn't lose because I wasn't a good athlete. We didn't lose because I was unable to tackle the receiver. We didn't lose because I wasn't able to intercept the ball. We lost because I didn't understand the game. My lack of football acumen meant I couldn't execute properly, and it cost my team a win they deserved.